Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shelly, and today I've got something I've needed to do for a while, and that is a Pat McGrath Labs Shop My Stash. Now, this is a series that I've done every few months, every 2 to 3 months. It seems like I do a Shop My Stash video where I go through either a brand or maybe the things that I'm super excited about, things that I either forgot about or I need to refresh my memory on, and I concentrate on using those products. I have a face full of Pat McGrath Labs makeup. I have got a boatload of money tied into this brand. I do not get anything in PR from Pat McGrath. I am not sponsored, affiliate, endorsed. I don't have any codes that you can use for Pat McGrath products. And I think this is like, this represents to me like the good china, you know, or the silk nightgown, you know, that you don't want to just wear on any given Tuesday, that you save for special occasions. And what I'm thinking is, I have spent so much money on this brand, I need to use it. I'm not going to say that I'm going to pan any of this, but I need to be more than a collector. It's like a car dealership. You're not collecting cars, you're selling cars. I'm not selling any of this stuff, but I should be using it. I'm a consumer. I'm a collector, not a hoarder. I don't know what I'm saying here. I'm just babbling. Okay, you guys, I picked up a couple new products because there were things that I didn't have, and I got them on the, I think it was before Black Friday even. I'm sorry, I keep touching my hair because I curled it and now I'm feeling like it's getting a little, I didn't curl it very well. It's just feeling very choppy and dry. I gotta do something with my hair. Anyway, you guys, okay, let's get into my Pat McGrath collection. I'm a little nervous that things aren't gonna be in the right order. Like I've got eyeshadow palettes that are not in the right number. Let me do a little sorting. Okay, you guys, I'm back. Let me scoot you in a little bit so that we can look at the products a little bit closer. Hey, you guys. Hi, welcome. I don't have any Pat McGrath on my face right now. I filmed another video earlier and then I'm like, oh, I've got a few minutes. I'm gonna sit down and film the Shop My Stash because I want to start using this. I'm really, really excited. It's like getting to, I don't know, it's like Christmas because I've had these and sometimes I get them and I film with them. And if I do have videos of the Pat McGrath products, I'll go ahead and link it in the description box. There's probably gonna be too many to do cards throughout the video, but I'll link them down below just in case you're curious. Sometimes I do 3 looks on one palette. Sometimes I just do 1 look. It just depends on how much time I have that day. But if you want me to do more information about any of these products, let me know. I might try to do a ranking after I'm done. It's a lot. I don't know. We got to get going. This video is going to be too long. So these are all of my Pat McGrath Lab lip liners. I'm going to guess I have several in here. In fact, I know I've got several that are dupes. I seem to have like 3 or 4 shades that I buy the same one of. And that is gonna be, let's see here, what do I have? I've got Buff and Suburbia, which is similar to Buff, Bare Rose, and another Suburbia, and a Contour, and the last one is Living Legend. So I seem to like Buff and Suburbia because I keep buying the same thing. I also have the same, oh wait, here's another one. This one is another Suburbia. So Suburbia and Buff. I do also do the same thing with her eyeliners. This is a collection of eyeliners. I've got 2 of the blue ones that are in the shade Blitz Blue. They both, yeah. So these are both Blitz Blue. I think they tend to be a little bit more of a shiny blue. I really like Black Coffee. I've got 2 Black Coffees. A Deep Void, which seems like it also has a little bit of like a purple undertone to it. And then a Blitz Brown. And the very last one I have, which I think might actually be, yeah, it's a lip crayon, or a lip pencil, but I've never actually used it on my lips. I think I've used it in my waterline instead. This is a 1980, and it's like a vibrant purple. So there's my lips and my eyeliners. I do have one of her glide sticks. What is this called? Intensifies Artistry Wand. This is one that's got like a little bit of it's like a primer, but some of her shimmers or special shades, her Astro Bliss shades, will stick to it a little bit better. So I picked up one of these. I didn't pick it up when it first came out because I was a little nervous. And then I had to because I think I don't let's say that I've gotten every single product she's put out, but quite a bit. Okay, so I started with one of these. Actually, I got 2 of these little samples of her Divine Skin Rose Oil. Divine Skin Rose, it says 001, the essence, it's like a rose essence. So much so that when they actually had a big sale, I bought the large bottle of them. Rose 001, the essence. The package is pretty. Like, you can't tell because it's got this, you know, cellophane over the top of it, but it is a beautiful box. I might actually even keep it in the box. You know what? Oh, let's open it up. There was a sale. There was a sale, and I like the little samples. which is why they give you the samples, right? So this is actually just a beautiful box. Opens up. Oh, yeah. This is stunning. Nice, heavy glass. Oh, it's separated right now. We'll shake it up a little bit. You guys, I don't know if this is the beginning to my demise, but it's very, very subtle. Very, very subtle scent. I'm wondering if she's not going to have a whole set of skincare. My skin just drinks this up. Oh my word. This is going to be my demise. Pat McGrath Labs skincare. I knew it was going to happen. I also picked up her Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection primer. I haven't used a Pat McGrath primer before. The foundation I absolutely adore. It's probably one of my top, I would say it's going to be one of my top three, definitely top three consistent foundations that I just always know that every time I reach for it, I just am going to love the way my skin looks. I usually grab 2 different shades in the foundation. I grab I'm recycling the bottom. I usually grab like a 11 and a 14, I think, depending on the time of year. So this is my 14 that's sitting in front of me. I do have backup of these because she does sales. And then I have a backup. This is like one of the few brands that the foundation I buy backups of because I don't want to ever be without it. Okay, so this is the primer. So it's Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Primer. I want to put it over the top of that pump of rose essence. Okay, it's like a cream, a little thicker than it's not a, how do I describe it? Wow. And you can't tell because I'm too far away, but I put a little bit of that primer on top of that rose essence and my skin on the back of my hand looks so blurred and perfected and just soft, and this may be one of those shop my stashes that I never go back. I just use these all the time. I don't know. Okay, I do have a replacement of the concealer. I recently decluttered this one. This is in shade LM9, so it's going to be a light medium 9. And this has been like my perfect shade of concealer for a while. I'm trying to think of what else I picked up recently just because I used it or I had decluttered it and I knew I needed a backup. This is my Ally Glines bag that's full of my Pat McGrath lip products. I only picked up one of these that's the sparkly one. Some of these I do have in similar shades. This is one of the Skin Sane. I don't know. I don't have a hard time reading the labels on these, but I've got a couple of the Bridgerton ones. This packaging is so pretty with the gold sparkly bits. I think I have 4 of those. I've got 5 of her regular ones and then a whole bunch of these little minis. You can buy these in a kit. Sometimes you'll see them on Sephora. You'll see them on Pat's website. So I have a bunch of those as well. I have several of her lip glosses, some of the smaller ones, as well as the larger size ones. I'm going to put these together so we can kind of, I've got them relatively organized in this little, some of these are lip balms. However, I have a regular, so I'm going to try to show you guys this. So this is my collection of Pat McGrath Lab lip products right now. I do have one of her lip balms that I keep on my regular makeup table so that, you know, I usually put that on and let it sit there. It's not really a mask, but it feels like a really fancy chapstick, I guess. That's how I'd look at it. But anyway, these are all of my Pat McGrath lip products to go along with those lip liners. In my little Ally Glines case here. Okay, so let's talk about blush. I think this represents my sum total of my Pat McGrath Labs blushes. She didn't do blush for the longest time. So I picked up, so this one's Fabulous Flirtations and Sexquisite Seductions. Oh wait, that's not the color. That's what it is. So this one particular one is Divine Rose. I didn't love these packages when they first came out because it's almost hard to push in the little clasp to open it up. But this is like your perfect nude pink. Here's another one that is Desert Orchid. Here, Allie next to me. Desert Orchid is a little bit more of a neutral as opposed to more pink. Any one of these I can grab and usually use for just about any look. This one's Cosmic Coral. Love this one. This one's actually a blended one. So it's got like a bronzer and kind of more of a corally. I mean, it's a pink apricot. I don't know. Coral. Does it say? Yeah. Divine Blush Duo and Cosmic Coral. It doesn't say what each shade is. This is another one in, I think this is Nymphette. Yeah. I picked up a lot of shades that are about the same. That's why I'm saying I could grab either one of these and they're great. And this is another Nude Venus. I think I already have this one. Did I mention this already? No. Nude Venus I think is my favorite out of all of them. This one just goes with everything. Will you just focus, please? Silly thing, focus. There we go. Now it's focused. So if you look at it, it's like, it's neutral. It's not overly warm. It's not overly cool. It's just a fantastic shade. Okay. And then she started doing these collections. So this one is Divine Blush Glow Trio Galactic Sun. I don't think this was the first one. This might have been the second one. Anyway, she started doing these kind of like foiled package, not foiled, but like the embossing on it. I don't know. This one actually has a highlighter and two of the blushes that I think I already have. Blush in Desert Orchid and Divine Rose. I have both of those. And then Golden Nectar is the highlighter in here. I have another loose highlighter I'll grab in just a second, but I'm not normally a highlighter person, so I didn't buy her separate ones. Okay, and then this is from the actual Bridgerton collection as well. This is a Divine Blush and Glow Trio Love at First Blush and highlighter. And let's see what shades are in these because I feel like they're about the same. This is kind of similar packaging. It's like a cardboard package, and I still even have the stuff on the cover up here. So this is Cherish, Nymphette, and Venus Nectar. I think Venus Nectar is the shimmer in here. I don't think I have Cherish. I think that's one shade that I don't have because it was so bright. But this one, I have that one, and now I have an extra highlighter. And it's a different shade. This might be a little bit too dark for me as a highlighter, but well, you know, I can always use it as an eyeshadow. And then this is the most recent one I picked up. I picked up this the same time I got this. Stupid sales. And this is, I haven't even opened it up. This is a Divine Blush Glow in Cheek palette. Nude Venus. You can tell which one I like the most. It's the Nude Venus. I think she had 2 of these larger blush palettes and similar packaging to the other 2. And there's 4. There's 4 blushes that I think I already have, and then 1 ginormous highlighter. I probably didn't need. What shades are these? Desert Orchid have, Nude Venus have, Divine Rose 3, and Paradise Venus. And then the Sunset Nectar. I think I already have this one, right? This was in the last one. So I think only one of these shades is new, and I think it's this one right here. I don't think I have that one. This is separate. Do I need all these blushes? Nope. Neither do you. Don't go out and buy all these. You need like a loan to get all this stuff. Okay, and then this is the highlighter that I had before. This is Divine Rose Skin Fetish Ultra Glow Highlighter. Here's my problem with this. It is loose. This puck of product is loose in the pan. I'll show you. So like you can see the grid underneath it where it should be. I should be careful doing this. It's gonna break. But there doesn't seem to be a way to press it back in to the frame. Oh my gosh, really, really, really pretty. Why do I wear highlighters more? Maybe it's just not in vogue or something. I don't know. Do people say in vogue? I don't really know. Okay, before I get in the eyeshadow palettes, I'm going to show you, I do have one of her setting powders. This I've had for quite a while. This is in light medium too. It's got your typical mesh type sifter on it, which is pretty good. It's fine. This one seems like it has a little bit of a yellowish undertone to it, which I actually kind of like, especially this time of year. And then I picked up another one of her Dark Star mascara. Sorry, this is the Dark Star mascara. I haven't tried the other mascara that she has. I can't remember what it's called, but it's the one in the all black package. This one's the gold component. I have gone through so many of these. This is definitely in my top 5, maybe in my top 3, top 2, maybe favorite mascaras of all time. Everything else left in front of me is an eyeshadow palette. So we're gonna go through these. I'm not gonna do them in any particular order. I'm gonna try not to do them in any particular order. I am gonna show you these. These were the first 2 that I got. These little 5 pans. One of them is in shade Sublime, or in collection, it's like the Sublime collection, and the other one is the Subversion collection, which is, I think, the special shades, or at least the shimmers from one of the other bigger palettes. But these ones, over the years, I've seen these $17, $12, you know, on sale. So if you are new to Pat McGrath, I say grab these. They're not fancy packaging, but the colors are actually really wearable. I like to use them with, say if I'm gonna do a bronzer in my crease, and then I'll pat on one of these shimmery shades over my lid, and I just feel simple and fancy all at the same time. Okay, I don't know if I should do small palettes or big palettes. Let's do big palettes first. I'm gonna try to do these in order. This is the Mothership Subliminal Eyeshadow Palette. This is the Mothership #1. Some of these cardboard boxes are in better shape than others. I did not buy any of the fancy packaging. These all felt fancy enough. So that's the first palette that she did, the first Mothership palette that she did. I want to call it almost like an Asian print on this particular palette. I think is the only one that she did that's like this. I take that back. She did this one, the kind of companion palette, smaller version of it, has the same face on it, but that's the only one that I think has that particular face. Otherwise, I feel like almost, not all of them, Most of the other ones have this same model on it. I feel like it's the same model. So this is the Pat McGrath Labs Mothership 2 Sublime palette. Remember we had those little ones with the frosted plastic. This is the Sublime palette and it's gorgeous. Love, love, love this green in here. It's like the scary shade in this palette, but it's a like duochrome, goes from like navy blue to emerald green. Oh, beautiful. So far, these boxes are in pretty good shape. We're still in good shape here. So this is going to be the third one. This is the Mothership 3 Subversive palette. I think this one in Sublime, well, this one's probably more edgy than I think than some of the other ones. Sometimes she just does a lot of like goldy pink shades in it, but this is edgy and beautiful. I've used this all over my lids with like a little bit of that. I have a pair of shoes that match this. I don't know, it seems strange to match your eyeshadow to your shoes, but it's a random color. It's like a weird sort of like acid martini olive green. It's one of my favorite shades that she's done, actually. I really, really like it. This is the fourth one, okay? And this is called Decadence. This is a different packaging completely. The other ones are like folded over and have a little string. This one does not have that, and I don't know why. This particular one, if I got one that wasn't like a first release, this is even still has the plastic top. We're getting settled here. Okay, I'm not super good with the ASMR stuff. But anyway, that's the Decadence palette. Some of these are very dark and edgy. It's going to be hard for me to use these large ones for like a regular everyday look or like a work look. But I think I can. I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna try these back together. I'm gonna keep them all safe here. I can tell you that when she ships out her, when you buy the lipsticks, they have a really cool box that they usually come in that are very similar to these. They're very decorated, and sometimes they have a little string that slides on them. And sometimes they have these ones that slip in as opposed to tie or wrap around. And I've been tempted to keep them, but then they're just a cardboard box. And this is an example of these cardboard boxes that kind of fall apart sometimes. This is, again, that same model. I mean, obviously the crown wasn't the same, but most of these other models I think are exactly the same. So this is the Mothership 5 Bronze Seduction palette. That's the artwork on it. I feel like there's another one here. Maybe not. I'm gonna have to look here, but this is the Bronze Seduction out. And I think this might have been like an Allure Beauty winner. Again, same plastic case. They feel very luxurious, but I think this is the one that was the Allure Beauty winner, or one of them probably. Several different like multi-chrome shades that definitely shift in the pan, like this one right here. That's the one that does it. This is the one that does it mainly for me here, that shifts. This particular one right here. If you look past like this shade that wants to shift colors, the rest of it, maybe that red, the rest of them look like normal regular shades, like you could wear them, but they seem to be a little bit darker. I wish I could get this package but put back together, because I like them when they're the boxes are still intact. But this one's kind of just an example of, you know, a cardboard box that has sort of kind of come across. But anyway, that's Mothership 5 Bronze Seduction. Let's look at Mothership 6. This one is called Midnight Sun. Oh my gosh, this one I saw recently on sale, and this is such a beautiful, beautiful color story, beautiful palette. Again, one of the things that I like about Pat McGrath is she tends to do a very, very dark shade that you can use to smoke it out. She'll do a lighter shade that you can use to give your eyes some dimension. And then she throws in some fun, different colors that, to me, when I'm looking at, can I use a palette for work? Can I use it for a date night? Can I use it for something fun? I just all of a sudden go, yeah, these are very interesting. This one I think might be one of the most beautiful ones on my particular eye shade. I've got brown eyes, you know, but this might be, I think this is my favorite one. Where everybody else likes the Bronze Seduction one, I think the Midnight Sun is probably my favorite. I've taken this to travel for date weekends with my husband. This one I think people were much anticipated. This is the Mothership 7 Divine Rose. I think once this one came out, people started saying, oh wait, okay, so we can actually use these on a regular basis. And again, I think it's the same model. I feel like the lips are the same. Some of them. Lips and eyes and nose. Some of them are slightly different. I don't know. Maybe she's got like 3 models that she used. But this all of a sudden became the everyday wearable palette that people really, really loved. And it's beautiful. You don't need all these. Don't buy all these. Don't do what I did. I was collecting. There are a couple brands that I collect pretty much everything they release, and I'm gonna say Pat McGrath Labs and Natasha Denona are the 2 that I I'm a bona fide collector. Okay, and then I've got Mothership 8. This is Divine Rose 2, so this is the part 2 to the collection. Again, with kind of the rose motif. And this one, she got a little bolder. Like this fuchsia, sorry, my palettes are kind of a mess. This fuchsia went really, really rich. This kind of shimmery multi-chrome, super beautiful, goes like pink and green and almost like a purple shade. This gives a little bit more interest. Now you've got like this quad down here that you can wear every day, but then you got, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna jazz it up. I'm gonna tap on another little something special, some special shade. I don't know. Next one I have is the Mothership 9 Utopian Dream. I think this one this went pretty well too, like was widely accepted. Okay, so I really only have 1 or 2 boxes, like they're falling apart. This one I still have protective cover on this too. And that's Utopian Dream. You have several different, wait, hold on. This shade down here is really, really vibrant in the pan. And the most of the rest of them look like, okay, those are relatively normal shades. Anyway, this one down here, my husband calls that sex club shadow. I don't know why he would think that. We've never been to sex club, so I have no idea why he thinks those are sex club shadows, but I think it's just anything that's racy. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know how to describe him. And then I have the Mothership 10 Moonlit Seduction. This is different than the Midnight Sun, right? Moonlit Seduction. And I feel like this model might be slightly different too. It's not the same. It's not the same model. It's a different model. Anyway, that's Moonlit Seduction. And you get a lot of this cool tone kind of espresso and some like mulberry shades. This one seems like it's more shimmer heavy than some of the other ones. Anyway, beautiful palette. And that's not all. That's 10 eyeshadow, 10 of her larger, not the largest, but 10 large eyeshadow palettes. I do have her last 3 years. I think these are the last 3 years of her holiday palettes. Let's see if I can put them in the right order here. So I think Celestial Nirvana, no. Celestial Odyssey was the very first one. I'm pretty sure, or like the oldest one. That's the palette. And this one, is this the one? Maybe it's the other one. I need to look. Here, hold on. Maybe it was this one. Was this Celestial Nirvana, the first one? One of them I could tell that I was like, okay, I like this color store a little bit better. Let me see. I can tell by looking at them. This is the older one. This was the first one that she did for holiday, and I didn't love the color story as much. I found like this turquoise was a little challenging. This hot pink, I would never wear this. The red, I have a hard time trying to figure out how to incorporate it. We've got 2 purples that are similar. One of them's a little bit warmer, one of them's a little bit more cool. I like the navy blue in it. You know, so there were some kind of fun options, but it wasn't like one that I was convinced I could use all the time, week in, week out. This is last year's palette, and this is gorgeous. It has a lot of super usable, wearable shades for me. There isn't anything too shocking and jarring on it. So this one's the Celestial Odyssey. So it's Celestial Nirvana, Celestial Odyssey. And then the one that she came out with this year is the Celestial Divinity palette. This was her holiday release for 2022, and that's what that looks like. Again, another beautiful palette. It's got a lot of color combinations. She likes purples, you know, but there isn't anything in here that is so jarring that I think, oh, no, I can't use that. It's gonna make me look sick. So love that. Now this is about the time you used to say, Shell, are you about done? I am. I have her smaller palettes left in front of me. So let's take a look at the smaller palettes. The ones that are a little bit easier to comprehend using. Okay, this is one of them. I mentioned this earlier. This is a Mothership Subliminal palette. What I like about this particular package is this is like a rubber band as opposed to one you wrap around, and you don't actually take the palette out of the package. I think that's actually a beautiful. It's a little dark. It's a little dark and smoky, but I think it's completely wearable. Okay, these aren't going to be in any particular order, you guys. I apologize for that. Here's a 3-pack of this particular size. Some of these are actually the same size. You got the Celestial Divinity Luxe Quad. I have one in Interstellar Icon, one in Fleur Fantasia, and one in Risque Rose. So this is the Risque Rose one. Pretty quad. Nothing too horrible about that. I think that's one of the things I liked about these particular quads is that they had really wearable color combinations. This is the one that's Interstellar Icon. I call it the blue palette because it's like a baby blue instead of like the purple or the pink. Again, the same packaging, but a four pan. Now, the one thing about this that you have to keep in mind is you don't have a light shade. I mean, you have this shade, but you don't have like a transition shade. So I think I've used this, but I've had to use it in conjunction with some other ones. Again, the smaller ones are great if you want to try without committing to the larger, big palette. And then this last one is called Fleur Fantasy Purple Palette. I say purple palette, but it's not really purple. Let's stay with the theme of this particular size of quads. I've got 3 more of these. These are the Blitz Astral Quads Nocturnal Nirvana is this one. This again is the blue palette that's the Blitz Astral. These are some of her special shades. Absolutely beautiful. I'll call this the peach palette. This is the, almost hard to read, Blitz Astral Quad in Ritualistic Rose. It's like that. For being 4 Blitz shades, those are the most wearable. Absolutely. And then we'll call this one the red palette. This is the Blitz Astral Quad Iconic Illumination. Her packaging, the artwork on it is so opulent. There's no other way to describe it. But anyway, that's what I would call the red palette. It has this gorgeous burgundy wine colored. It's hard to, to decide to try to do like 4 looks with this, but I think you can. I think you can do, not 4 looks, I think you can do absolutely an entire look with one of these palettes. Maybe not the blue palette, but I think the other ones you can certainly do an entire look and not have to dip into anything else. Winding down here. These particular palettes are slightly smaller. Again, we have another red palette. This is the Celestial Odyssey Luxe Quad, and this is in Deep Space Divinity. So that looks like. So this is actually really fun because it has another one of those like burgundy wine shades. This one's that happens to be a matte. You've got a bronze, a lighter, say darker than champagne, and then you have this blue suspended over brown. It's just a beautiful, rich, dark, smoky, luxurious looking shade. That's the red one in this collection. This one is the Celestial Odyssey Luxe Quad in Bronze Borealis. There's your Bronze Borealis. Completely wearable. Like, out of all of these small quads, this is probably the one that will get the most use just because it's super easy. Buff in the matte, and then you top it with 1 or 2 of the shimmery metallic-y shades. That's all you need to do. Her formula is so fantastic, you guys. If you haven't had the experience of playing with any of her shadows, grab one of the small ones. Just grab one of the small ones and see what you think. Okay, this is the same size of palette, but it's from a different collection. This is from the Venus and Fleurs Luxe Quad. When she released her, what is this called? Voyeuristic Vixen. When she released her blushes, she came out with this particular palette too. And if you can see, mine has been absolutely destroyed. This particular shade was lost. Lost in transit, and it's just become a mess in this palette. Let me clean up some of this here a little bit. Okay, I tried to clean up some of the fallout from around the actual pan itself, but this particular shade, which is my favorite shade in this palette, has been destroyed and repressed a couple times now. Well loved. I'll call that palette well loved. I have just a few more to show you here. I don't even know what order these have come in, so we're just going to grab them in what I think was the right order. This is one that came out with the Divine Rose collection. I think this is Mothership eyeshadow palette. Okay, this one is the Rose Decadence one. I couldn't see the writing on it. And again, I like this size of palette. These 6 pans are great because you have the mirror in it, and I think you have enough combination. Like, you can shear out this rose color and use this one to deepen things up, and then put one of these or 1 or 2 of these on a movable lid, and you have a variety. I love that color story. Okay, and then this one, did that not have a box? I must have gotten rid of the box. Most of these I try to keep in the boxes because it keeps the palette together and from getting scratched. This is one of the 2 Bridgerton palettes that I have. One of the 2 Bridgerton 6 pans that I have. This one's called Belle of the Ball. It has this, kind of whimsical Victorian looking artwork on it, and that's the palette. Really pretty. This one here, surprisingly beautiful shade. That kind of green, I'm gonna call it again like acid martini olive green. I don't know how to describe it. And then this was the other Bridgerton palette. We'll call this one the blue palette. Diamond of the First Water. This might have been the first one. Was Diamond of the First Water the first one that came out? That's the palette. Yeah, really pretty. This particular kind of rosy pink is the one that's a little bit more challenging, but I think if you use it sparingly and you really blend it out, it's actually really pretty. These are the 2 like odd shaped ones. They're like the same shape as these ones here, but a little bit longer. Yeah, you can see that they're not quite the same. I was hoping they'd be. Okay, so this is the Celestial Nirvana eyeshadow palette in Nude Allure. I feel like these were the most recent ones. That's Nude Allure. Love this one. Bronze Bliss. And if I recall, I had a hard time deciding which one was my favorite one out of these ones. This one I think is the holiday one, right? It's a little bit more cool toned, a little bit more Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, whereas the other one, the Nude Allure, is a little bit more like everyday wearable, I think. And this is the very last one I have, this little tiny Paquito palette. I feel like this is a Bridgerton one too. This is a mini eyeshadow palette. Midnight Voyage is what this one is. I'm wondering if she's not going to have a larger version of it. I think all of these shades were existing in other palettes except for one. I think it was maybe this one is the brand new shade. The rest are from other palettes. But some people didn't like this. Some people looked at this and thought, okay, little kid makeup. I thought this was so wearable, and I love this little, I mean, it's the size of your hand, right? I mean, it's like literally the palm of my hand. What a great, fantastic travel size of palette. This is everything. This is my Shop My Stash Pat McGrath edition. This is what I'm going to be playing with over the next maybe 2 months. We'll see. But I wanted to start the year off with something like really exciting and really kind of get my creative, I don't know, just feeling like I could do something really pretty and fun. And frankly, like I said earlier, when you have the good china, sometimes you just have to use the good china. Sometimes you just have to use the good stuff, the stuff that you've invested your money into, and not have it just sit there and go to waste. Actually use it. Use what you spend your money on. All right, you guys, I have nothing else. I hope that convinces you not to just throw money away and actually use what you purchase, what you spent your money on. Don't just collect it. Anyway, you guys, I hope you're doing really well, and yeah, I hope you guys consider sticking around until my next video. Bye for now.